Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the previous video, we have discussed set theory and we learned a lot about especially real numbers and then integers, rational numbers, and etc. That's all about set. Okay, and in this video, we will continue to the second topic. It is relations and functions. But before we continue, we should learn about the coordinate systems. Okay, and we go. So imagine if you are not, maybe if you are in Yogyakarta and then you want to go to UGM, then what you have to do, especially if you want to go to the Faculty of Biology of UGM, then usually what we do is we go and then we open our map, right, in our phone, and we search. Then how to find the exact location? Then there is a coordinate for the place that we want to go, and that's the destination. And we need certain point, and that is usually what we use to find a location when we go to somewhere. And I also remember last time when I was a master student, I went to Surabaya, and then that one, I drove overnight, and very difficult to ask people because only few people around, because at night. Then I arrived in the morning, early morning, around 5 or 4 a.m. Then if I should ask people, then it will be difficult. And then the person, I want to go there to his or her house, then he only send me the coordinate, then I can arrive safely, very easy to go there. Then that is the real world application of the coordinate system. And why we need a system? Because we should place something, a point, and we have to make sure we want to see where is the exact location of that point. That's the main thing. And a coordinate system is a method used to place a point in a plane or space. And usually what we learn here, we only learn for two-dimensional, so we only learn in a plane, not in a space, especially for this course. Okay, and next, there are some non-coordinate systems. The first two, I hope you are familiar enough. The first one is the Cartesian coordinate system that we already learned from maybe junior high school. And we already know that, there is a plane, then we can divide into this, then this one, this x-axis, and then y-axis. So hopefully you are familiar enough. And the second one, maybe some students are not that familiar, but there are many books which discuss about it, and it is the polar coordinate system. Why? Because there are some advantages for this coordinate system, and the last two we will not discuss them, but it is good if you are curious enough to learn more about this topic, then you can go through, then try to learn by yourself. They are cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. So the difference are the point. So how to see the coordinate depend on the point of view. That's the thing. Okay, first, for the Cartesian coordinate systems, consists of a plane with two lines. We have two lines here, and you see the arrow here, and one horizontal as the x-axis and one vertical as the y-axis, and we can see the intersection, and we call it the origin point, denoted by O. And we have seen here, and the two lines also divide the coordinate plane into 4 sections. And this kind of stuff, hopefully we are familiar enough, and we know as when x is greater than 0, and then y is greater than 0, we call it quadrant 1. So we can go, if we go to the right, then x is positive, then we go to the left here, x is negative, then y go up, then that is positive, then y go down, and that one is negative. That one we have what? So we have when x is greater than 0, y greater than 0, we have that one is the quadrant 1. And the second one, when x is less than 0, so we go to the left from here. This one is quadrant 2, and then we go down here. This one is quadrant 3, and here we have this one is quadrant 4. And usually we use this stuff when we deal with trigonometric function, especially when we have y is sinus x, right? When x is here, then x is around 0 to 90 degree, then we have it is in quadrant 1. Then sinus here is positive, and then what happened after that, we have sinus here is negative, and then this one also negative, and this one go back to positive. That usually what we have when we deal with the quadrant. And each point in a plane is represented by a pair of real numbers x and y. So depend on our x and our y. So the x, we call it x coordinate, and y is called y coordinate. And the absolute value of x and y represent the distance from P to y-axis and x-axis. So for example, like if we have here, we have this point is 3,2, then we go here by 3 and then go up by 2. So go to the right by 3 and then go up by 2. Another example, if we have, for example, minus 3,2, then what happened? We go to the left by 3 here, and then we go up by 2. So we have here, this one is minus 3,2. And what happened if we have minus 3, minus 2, then we go to the left 3, go down 2. So this one is minus 3, minus 2. And what is this? If they have this, then 3, minus 2, right? So go here by 3 because this part is positive, and minus 2, so go down by 2. So this point is 3, minus 2. Hopefully that's clear enough. Then what happened if we think in another way? So we have the polar coordinate systems where we have one horizontal ray here. This is the horizontal ray, and then we also have an angle here, theta. Okay, so the positive x-axis, we call it the polar ray, and we have the theta is the angle, and we measure it in anti-clockwise direction. So we have here and then go to there, anti-clockwise. So if we have the clockwise from here 0, 12, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then anti-clockwise is this direction. And for example, like if we have the length from the origin O is r, and then go to theta, then this is the coordinate of our P. That's the example. And please note that if we have the angle is multiple of 2 pi, and then we go back to the original point. For example, like we have this one is r, theta, and then we go so go back, then this one is equal to PR theta, 2 pi. Okay, because we have this one is theta, and then go here, this one is 2 pi plus theta, and they are the same point. And that's also the same when we rotate one more. Then for example, like we continue this rotation, see, and then go back to here, then this one is equal to PR comma theta plus 4 pi. Okay, so they are the same. So for in general, PR comma theta will be equal to PR theta plus 2n pi, where n is in integer. Okay, hopefully that's clear enough, because when you have here maybe theta minus 2 pi, what is the meaning theta minus 2 pi? So you go to here for theta, and then you go back 36 degree, then that's also give you the same point. So this one also same as PR comma theta minus 2 pi. So all of them are the same point here. And what are the relations between Cartesian and polar coordinate system? Then we have this one is very common, and we learn it from senior high school, trigonometric. So sinus theta is y over r, should be clear enough. And then cosinus is x over r. Then tangent theta is y over x. And this one should be clear. This one is from Pythagoras theorem. Then we have PR comma theta is equal to px comma y. So how to convert when we have x comma y? Then what happened? We should count our r, right? R is square root of x squared plus y squared. And then what is theta? Theta come from here, then we can count it from arcus tangent y over x. That's what happened when we want to transfer from Cartesian coordinate system to polar coordinate system. And how to transfer from here polar coordinate system? Then what we have, yeah, we just try to see what is our r. What is our x? X is r cosinus theta, and then our y from here, right? So here we have x is equal to r cos theta, and then from here we have y is equal to r sinus theta. So this is our y, r sinus theta. So that's how we transfer from Cartesian to polar, and also from polar to Cartesian. Okay. So we go to the example. Okay, if you spot some mistake, please mention in the comment below. Hopefully, yeah, it is true. But yeah, I'm still a human, right? So okay, for the 2 comma minus 2 over 3. So for number 1, we have our x is equal to 2, and then our y is equal to minus 2 over square root of 3. Then how to find our r? R is square root of 2 square plus minus 2 of square root of 3 square, correct? So this one is square root of 2 square is 4 plus 4 times 3 is 12, correct? So this one is square root of 16. Then this one is 4. Then how to find theta? Theta is arcus tangent of minus 2 square root of 3 over 2, because this one is our y, this one is our x, right? So what we have arcus tangent of this one, divide, cancel, minus square root of 3. Then we have this one is 11 pi over 6. It's only plus 2 pi here, but yeah, whatever. So we have when we transfer here from 2 comma minus 2 square root of 3, we have 4 comma 11 pi over 6 plus 2 pi. Okay, hopefully that's clear enough. And for number 2, what we want to convert this point 3 comma 3 over 4 pi. So what we have our r is, when we have this one, x is 3 and then y is 3 over 4 pi, then what is our r? Our r is, with the same method, then we have square root of 3 square plus 3 over 4 pi. Oh no, so sorry. So we have this one is not the Cartesian one. This one is polar, right? This one polar. So this is our r. It's not xy. So r is 3 and then theta is 3 over 4 pi. Then what we have from here, x is, yeah, we have r cosinus theta. So should be 3 times cosinus, correct, right? X is r cosinus theta, then theta is 3 over 4 pi. Then what we have is 3 times, what is it? Minus half square root of 2, right? Because, yeah, we have from here to here, yeah, should be correct. Then we have minus 3 over 2 square root of 2. And then what is y? Y is 3 sinus theta. Theta is 3 over 4 pi. Then we have, what is this? Half square root of 2. Okay, so what we have, 3 over 2 square root of 2. Okay, so I think I should, yeah, revise my statement here. Sinus, oh yeah, okay. So sinus, you have, the graph is like this, right? So go up and then go down and then go up again. So for sinus, this part is plus, this part is plus, then this quadrant, I mean this one also minus, this one for sinus. Then for cosinus, but we have, the graph is like this, then this one is plus and then minus plus. Okay, so that will help us because, yeah, we should deal with sinus and cosinus here, and also tangent actually. Okay, so this one should be the correct one. Okay, and next we have the second example. You would like to convert the equation r is equal to 2 sinus theta. So we have the equality here, and then how to do this? So okay, we go to here. Please note that r is equal to square root of x squared plus y squared, and then sinus theta is equal to y over r. Okay, then we have square root of this one, our r, we convert to here, is equal to 2 times, we have, sinus theta is this, y over r. R is square root of x squared plus y squared. Then what happened? We have x squared plus y squared is equal to 2y. So we have this. Okay, and next example, we would like to convert this equation to polar coordinate system. Then what we have, again, remember, x is equal to r cos sinus theta, and then y is equal to r sinus theta. Then what we have here, we substitute our x and y. So we have r cosinus theta square plus 4 times r sinus theta square equal to 16. Then what is it? We have r square cosinus square theta plus 4r square sinus square theta is equal to 16. So what we have r square, and then we have cosinus square theta plus 4 sinus square theta is equal to 16. Then what is it? So we have cos sinus square plus sinus square. So we have cosinus square plus sinus square theta is equal to 1. So we only left with, because we break this, 1 plus 3, right? So 1 sinus square theta plus cosinus square theta is 1. Then the rest is sinus square theta, 3 times sinus square theta. And we get this one. Okay, that's for another example. And how to graph in the polar coordinate system. This one is important because we are not familiar enough for this one, usually for the student especially. And the graph of an equation in polar coordinate system is a set of points that contains at least one representation of each point that satisfying the equation. Because remember, when you have the polar coordinate system, then after certain point go back again, right? So that's why we say that at least one representation of each point. And there are two methods that can be used in drawing the graph in polar coordinates. The first method is we should try to find the geometrical interpretation of the equation using the Cartesian form. That's one way. Another way, we also can create a table of points that satisfy the equation, and then try to list as many as possible to make it easier, and we can connect each point in the polar coordinate system. For example, like this, we have r is equal to 2. What is r? R is square root of x squared plus y squared. And then what happened? We have r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared, right? So what we have here, x squared plus y squared is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. Then what is it? It is a circle with radius 2. Okay, so this is one way. So we can transfer to Cartesian coordinate system, and then this is the geometrical representation, see here. Then we can draw after that, or if not, we can list the point. So for example, like whatever we have theta, and we have r is equal to 2. Then if we draw it, when theta is equal to 0, we have this one is 2, and theta is 90 degree. Then we have here this one is 180, this one is 360, and whatever here, we always have 2, right? We always have 2. So what happened? Again, we get a circle with radius 2. So here, see, whatever the point, and we get everything will satisfy here. So we get this. The center is 0, 0,0, and the radius is 2. Okay, another example, we want to draw this graph, and this one is much more difficult. For the first method here, and as you see, we already know a little bit about that, but this one is a bit different. So what we do, we use the second method, try to list all points as many as possible to make it easier. For example, like when theta is equal to 0, sinus 0 is 0, right? So we have 2 plus 2 sinus theta, so we have 2 plus this one is, so 2 plus 2 times 0, right? So we get this, and this one comes from 2 plus 2 times half, we get 3. This one comes from 2 plus 2 times square root of 2 over 2, then we get 2 plus square root of 2, and so on. So up to pi. Then we have this. Why we choose these angles? Because it's easier to calculate the sinus. And we go again. We try to continue up to 2 pi, because this one is the most safe version. If we only stop up to pi, then we will get some trouble, because it is quite possible there are some points that are not represented in our graph. That's why we continue to 2 pi. Then for example, like when theta is equal to pi, then sinus theta is 0. Then this one is 2 plus 2 times 0. Then we get this. Then this one minus half. So we have 2 plus 2 times minus half. That will give us 1. And so on. So we go back here. See, the same. 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2. Then we draw. So this is the graph of R is equal to 2 plus 2 sinus theta. And I think that's all for this video. Hopefully this will help you to understand some coordinate system. Yeah, there are two here. First is the Cartesian coordinate system, and the second one is polar coordinate system. Okay, thank you for trying to understanding the materials from this video. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.